Hello and welcome to the first episode of continuing and trying to finish the van build. In this episode we're going to be working on fitting in some cabinet doors for my overhead cabinets so I can finally utilize their full capacity, because during my last road trip I wasn't able to use them as much as I wanted to because I couldn't stack things too high without things falling off. So we're going to get started on that right now. So one of the first things I want to do is actually take out these 1x3s here that I installed on the front of the cabinets, just so that there was a little bit of a lip and not everything would go sliding out. That one's going to be a lot easier because all it has is screws, and these ones I'm going to have to pry off somehow because I decided to use nails instead, which was kind of dumb. So we'll see. I might have to take the whole cabinets down so I don't like break them off. This one, I'm actually thinking I might just be able to pry it off, but at the same time, I also don't want to break any of this by pulling on it too much. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Probably should have taken this out first. That was kind of awkward. There's a look at what that looks like underneath, which I guess I haven't really showed you guys, because I didn't really film those parts of the build because I was really in a hurry. But yeah, hopefully this insulation doesn't fall out while I'm working on it, because that's going to be a pain in the butt to get back up there. This is weird. Okay. There we go. This insulation did not stay all in. So I had to throw that back up there when I put the shelf back up. Okay, well now that I got all the front pieces of the cabinets off, I was trying to fit these hinges that I bought and realizing that I have a little bit of a problem. So if you look at right here, there is not much of a gap between the top of this 1x2 here and the ceiling, and these hinges are meant to have doors being flush with the side of the cabinet. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see this here, but so basically it should connect like that, and that's great. It would easily fit right there, but there's no room for the door to open all the way, so it would end up hitting the ceiling and then probably being open at an angle. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of hinges I can even use. So yeah, we're gonna have to do some research on hinges. It is a new day and we are working on the van again, picking up where we left off. I was doing some research into some different hinges and I concluded that I actually don't want to get other hinges. I cannot emphasize this enough. I have absolutely no experience, so that is why my van build is kind of crappy. This is one of the cabinets right here, and so the way that they're held onto the wall is with rivet nuts, or actually I think I use plus nuts, which are similar to those, that I put into the sheet metal of the van. These bolts here screw into them, and I've got two here on this back 1x2, and then the top 1x2 also has two as well. Each shelf is held up by 4 bolt points where these 1x2s are bolted into the wall. But that is not the weakest part, at least in my opinion, of the shelves. The weakest link, I'll say, is how the 1x2s are connected to the actual, to these side pieces of the cabinets. We've just used a Craig jig to pocket hole screw 2 screws there, and well, actually you can't see them here because it was done over the top on this part. Same thing with the other side too. And that is really what is holding them up, in my opinion. Again, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but this is just my thought process. So even from the very beginning, I was always worried about these things falling down, and they never did. To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised that they didn't, because I really thought that in the middle of the night, I was gonna get killed by one of my cabinets falling on my head. But I'm glad that didn't happen. And hopefully you are too, maybe. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that, so you guys could get an idea for how they're mounted. And the reason I brought that up was because this is the reason why I didn't want to get hinges, and these would be specialty hinges that attach to the sides here, because then that would be putting the entire weight of the door on the sides of the cabinets, which would in turn put more weight on those pocket hole screws. So that's why I wanted to attach it to the 1x2, because that I have no doubt would be able to hold the door up. So this is what I came up with. This is what we're doing. You know what, I'll just show you guys as I do it. All right, so 42 inches it looks like is the length of this cabinet. Okay, so I did a test fitting first of the hinge because, like I mentioned already, I have never done this before. I've never installed a hinge on a cabinet before, so this is totally new to me. But that's the way it's supposed to look. That would be, I marked it cabinet and door. So I'll do it facing you. If that's the cabinet right there, then the door would open like that. And I didn't put another hinge on, so of course it's floppy, but it would be flush like that. So it works pretty well. And I also bought gas struts for these, but at least with the small cabinet that I'm working on right now, I'm probably not going to need them, to be honest, because I mean, it's not a very large door. We'll see. It shouldn't be too heavy, but I think 2 of these hinges are going to be more than enough to hold it open. I finished attaching the blocks and the hinges to the door, but I made a mistake. I don't know if I'm gonna fix it right now because I don't have enough wood to actually fix it. But so basically this should go right up here. So the blocks are going to be screwed into the 1x2 that's bolted to the ceiling. So if I put it in now, that is where it sits. And if you can see this, it doesn't cover the whole shelf. So not the end of the world. It does cover the shelf. Like, this is just part of the supporting structure. So I'm probably not going to fix this right now just because it's not the end of the world, but yeah, just a little goof. Okay, so off camera, and today is also a new day. As you can tell, I'm wearing a different shirt. I moved the blocks of wood and hinges over. As you can see now, there are holes there from where they used to be connected, because these are pocket hole screws here. I'm gonna have to screw those blocks of wood in. I plan to use 4 screws in these different locations like that, just kind of square. But I don't want the screws going anywhere near the pocket hole joints because I don't want to make the wood weaker, and I also don't want to hit the screws that are already there and mess them up. So that's why I moved those.
You should come over here and do one of these.
And there we go. I finally have a door on one of my cabinets. Probably can't tell, but I am super stoked about this because whenever I get anything done on the van, even the tiniest, like, easiest stuff, it's just super exciting. I'm like, oh my god, I finally got it. Like, I have a cabinet door. But that means that I can now put as much stuff as I want in here, being cautious with weight limits, but this is typically my kitchen stuff, so it's gonna have a lot of dry foods, spices, boxed and canned foods and things like that, so not gonna get too heavy, I don't think. But I did mention earlier that these hinges might be able to hold it open all the way, but unfortunately they are not strong enough, so if I let it go, it just closes. Good thing I bought the gas struts because I will be needing those. Now I need to make more. Alright, so off camera, I had my dad help me put these overhead cabinets back up. So they're back in their original homes where they were before. We also cut all the doors for these 2 cabinets, so each of these is actually going to have 2 doors. And this one will have our one long door. Well, we're coming inside for a second to have ourselves a little bit of late lunch / dinner because I woke up late today. And then we're gonna continue working on the van. What, King? Come on, I'm getting you some water. Let's go. King. Psst, psst. There you go. Got some leftover B-dubs because my parents took me to Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday because it was my birthday 4 days ago. I just turned 24. We got Asian Zing, teriyaki, Parmesan garlic, and I think this one is a lemon pepper dry rub. What is the best way to reheat wings? I wonder if an air fryer would work best. All right, we gotta get going. I'll let it get dark outside, and I think I can still get a little bit more done on those cabinets before the end of the night. One thing I am really excited about is cooler weather. If I haven't said this before, fall is definitely my favorite season, and although it is not fall yet, we're getting close. If you haven't watched any of my earlier videos, you should go check them out. But if you have watched any of my earlier videos, then you know that I started off making winter and snow and snowboarding content. Winter and fall are top two favorite seasons. Don't get me wrong, I like summer, but I hate bugs, and there aren't any of those in the winter. But anyways, let's get back to building. Okay, so I gotta show you guys something real quick. These are the screws that are coming with these hinges. I'm using 1/2-inch plywood here, but if you look at these screws, they are just slightly too long. Even with the metal hinge in between as well. So I'm having to improvise and use a grinder to shave the ends off of these screws so that they don't poke through the other side. Just some of the things that happen when you are horrible at planning. Alright, so we got this screw shortened up a bit. We bring this over here to the edge and pretend like we're putting it on top. You can see it does not go past the edge. In fact, it's actually kind of far from it. So might have done this one a little bit too much, but this should be good. I'll end up having to do this for all the screws that go into the doors. It's going to be a little bit time consuming, but I'm not going to make you guys watch that. Alright, so it is currently Sunday evening, and it's probably less than an hour before this video is going to go up. It is 7:16 right now, if you can see that. The cabinets are finally finished. At least they are all up and in place. This one, of course, was the first one that I got done, but I also added on some edge banding to the sides I did not do that one because it's a little bit tight for the iron that I've been using to put it on, so I'll have to do that later. And I also ran out of edge banding. But I also did the undersides of both of these cabinets, except for that one, for the same reasoning as why I didn't do the other one. So there we go. Got one side open and the other side. And also did this for both of these cabinets. They now have a center divider that, although I won't be able to fit really long things in these cabinets, not that that's really going to matter because I didn't really have anything long that I was putting in there in the first place. But one of the main benefits to these is that it helps these long cabinets with their structural integrity. So it actually holds the bottom of the cabinets up because they're screwed into here, and that piece is also screwed into this 1x2 beam and the one on top as well. Same thing with the other side too. So I'll give you a look at the back from the back side real quick. And so that's how they look from the back side. Show you guys. But I'm really happy with the way these look so far. And I had originally planned to stain these, but I used a test piece to stain, and because that's actually plywood with veneer on it, it kind of goes through and then you can see all the knots and grain on the plywood, and it just doesn't look that great. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I might just polyurethane over it or something like that. I just haven't had time yet. I also have these gas struts, which I had mentioned to you guys before that I had bought, and I still need to install these on all of the cabinets because they cannot hold up on their own with the hinges that I bought. So I think that the van's already looking better just with these cabinet doors in place. Having them not there was kind of, you know, you could see everything behind them, and like having the edge banding on is nice because you can't see like the raw wood there, which is great just for looks. Now I'll be able to utilize the full capacity of my cabinets. The work isn't completely done on the cabinets. Like I mentioned before, I still need to put gas struts on all of them. I am not sure if I'm going to put handles on or not, because with those ones, they actually hang over slightly, so there's a lip for me to grab onto. So, and I kind of just like the look with no handles anyway, so I'm probably not going to do that, but it's a possibility. I also need to put some kind of latches or locking system so that the doors don't open on their own. Because as of right now, if I make a sharp turn right or left, or if I'm on bumpy road, they're kind of moving around a little bit, and of course that could allow stuff to fall out. But I'm really excited with the way they turned out. And also just a PSA about why this video is late, and I know I said I was going to post this yesterday, which was Saturday, and I did not. My dad and I had to drop off a boat for getting some things installed in Sioux Falls, and that is a bit of a drive. And also pulling the boat makes the drive even longer. And then after that, we had to take a shopping trip to Costco, and we always stock up on a ton of stuff because it's far away. And also an update. So I have been working, it's almost been 2 months, I've been working a second job. I did get that, and I'm working an extra 24 hours a week, so 64 total with my regular job. But I'm doing 8 hours on 3 days. So it's nice in the fact that, you know, I'm not working every single day, so I have 4 days off. So on those days, it is pretty tiring. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights that I'm working 8 hours after my regular job, and I don't get off till 7 a.m. So I ended up sleeping yesterday, which was Saturday, from the time we got back from Sioux Falls all the way until like 12 o'clock today on Sunday. So yeah, that's why this video is a bit late, so sorry about that, guys. But, and I know, you know, this doesn't seem like I got that much done, but I'm satisfied with the amount of work that I got done. Wish it could have been more, but, you know, some things just take longer, especially when you make mistakes. So with that, that'll be all for this video, and I hope you guys stick around for more build videos, more camping and cooking videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.